I become very heightened if I worry.
I understand that, yeah.
Just feel relaxed. It is your home.
It's 10 o'clock right now. Like I said, I'd start doing stuff for like my insurance. I'm in my bedroom right now. Checked my older brother's room and I saw that he wasn't there. Like, I started feeling kind of like upset after that. Like I just started crying. I started crying a bit. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, it just never fucking happens, you know. I don't know. Okay, like it's weird. Like I just started getting like, kind of upset after that. After like I saw like that he wasn't actually here the entire time. And there's something about my routine of like going to the kitchen and saying all these things to the little computer here. Something about all that just felt kind of like, I don't know. It just felt like silly to me. Like it just felt like a weird like. Just it felt really. Just like I don't know. It felt like really gross. I don't know, not gross, like just weird, like and unnecessary, and like all this stuff. Like I just feel really alone if he's not here right now. Like, I feel really, really like weirdly alone. I'm a really bad person. I don't know. Okay, I just got issues. Shut the fuck up. It's not. I don't know. Okay, like it's just weird. Like I just started getting all sad now that he's gone. He left. And, like I feel like a hole. There's like a hole left. I remember like when I heard that he was like he got a job. Like he came here for like. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, cut out there. When I heard that he got a job, I just like froze. I like it just. I went to the bathroom after that, and like I just kind of like, um, I just kind of like was like still. I was like really frozen for a second because like in that moment I was thinking he's gonna leave within the next like 1 to 2 months or weeks or something. Like it's over now. I don't have to worry about him anymore. Like this is over, and like it just like it just. I mean that didn't end up being true, but you know still like he it kind of just made me like freeze. I was just frozen there. Like I couldn't like think or do anything. I just was like stuck. And like it's like I don't know. It's like I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. I just felt like things were gonna change. You know, and not change. It's like it felt like my life or like my behaviors were just like it's like this gigantic pillar, and like it's just all dedicated to this one person. And then when I know they're finally gonna go away, I like lose everything, kind of like everything. I have to start from the ground up again, and like I just feel like that keeps happening now. And like I guess the same thing kind of happened with this whole thing, like this massive like practice where I can go like out of my room at like 4 in the morning, just to avoid these bad feelings and stuff like I'm like around. And then like when it goes away, it just like it feels like I've been like robbed of something. I don't know. Like it feels like it's like wouldn't I want this to go away? That would make sense. But for some reason, when it leaves, it's like I don't even know who I am anymore. I guess like imagine if you didn't have to make money anymore. Like imagine if money was no longer necessary and you didn't need your job anymore. Like would you keep going to work? It's like that. It's like that kind of situation. Like you no longer need money for stuff. Like just imagine you didn't have to work. Or imagine you just didn't have to worry about like, your friends' opinions or something. Like you just like they stopped caring or something or like stuff like that. They stopped caring about like this thing you were like compensating for. Or like you were just putting all this energy into fixing a problem. And like the problem just vanishes. Like it's just such a weird like such place to be. It just feels very like I don't know, like it feels really unstabilizing, I guess. It makes me feel really not really, I don't know, I wouldn't say that, but like it just kind of makes me question like myself a lot. So yeah. I keep muting the mic by accident. I don't think I really have a lot to say in like now at least, and I'm like 15 minutes behind. So I remember like when I made him feel bad for the first time, like my brother. I was about like 20 years old or so. Or like I started making him feel bad when I was like late 19. I'm 21 right now, by the way. So like about a year ago. Um, the entire time, like I just kind of like had this sense that I was like he was just getting what he deserved. I mean, but like at the same time, in my like little teenager head, I didn't realize my emotions are not my reality. And like you need to have good emotions for a good relationship, and like emotions are coming from somewhere, and like I'm just imagining how difficult that must have been for him. Because I was just like this unself-aware like little retard, just like thinking with instinct and like no real like it's all emotion. I can't like see how like fucking stupid I am. Like, I can't like really tell. I'm not saying I want to have him in my life again, but like I'm not. But like just the stuff. Like, it's like you're criticizing someone for like nothing. You're probably just making him go insane. And like honestly, I wonder if that's how all my relationships were. I was just like getting these people who were just like normal people, and I was just like putting expectations where they didn't really have to be because I needed them to fit my emotions or something, like, you know what I mean? I don't know, like it just maybe I'm sounding kind of like dumb because emotions are like a big part of why relationships even exist, I think. I don't know, maybe it's wrong, but like you don't really understand like you're like making somebody else's life really really hard by doing that. I'm sure if I think hard enough about it, which I don't really want to, but if I thought enough about it, then like I'm sure like I'd be able to think of why maybe I feel so good about certain things. But like just like an unself-aware, emotion-driven animal, just who thinks like their feelings always have a meaning. Sometimes your feelings are just feelings. Sometimes your feelings just have more to do with your body instead of like what's actually happening around you. And like, yeah, I remember like the first time, as I was saying, like the first time I started like cracking him down, like I always felt like my entire life is just some person I can never just like get at. There's just some guy who like would always tell me what to do and shit, and like I can't like ever disagree. I'm not like allowed to disagree with him. He is the authority figure. Like it's like him. And I started like breaking him down and stuff, and like it didn't feel good. It just kind of felt like just it just like I didn't enjoy hurting him. It just felt like safety to me. Like being able to like do that to him, it just felt safe to me. I didn't like it at all. It just made me feel safer. All right, well, guess I should probably read the statistics stuff now. Maybe I should do crypt. The cryptography. It's like what? I'm gonna do stat. I don't want to do cryptography. Yeah, I don't want to do cryptography. I do not want to do cryptography. All right, well. Alright, bye. I'm still like really hoping that someday like somebody I'm just hoping someday like in the future I become like either somebody really really loves me and they like look me up or something, um or like I become famous or something, people look at this stuff. That's like it's not the purpose of this, but like I'm just like wondering, like thinking that I have like this fantasy that it's gonna happen or something. I think about stuff like that a lot. I think I might not do this anymore when the semester starts. I think I'll just like let it be. I'm not sure if I'm even gonna want to do it. Oh yeah, I forgot to should probably talk about this now. Um, when I go off stream, like sometimes like I kind of like got conditioned to it, so often like often I'd like I wouldn't like really know what to do with myself after I finish, like after I press like this little button here, like I wouldn't like really know what to do. And I'd feel weird, I'm like always like bouncing around my house basically, like just looking for somewhere to just relax and stuff. Um, and like what's- uh sorry. Yes. stream is off, like I just kind of like I get like really really silent. Not all the time, but like when I started doing this stuff, like I don't know, I get like this weird feeling that like all of my thoughts, if they're not being recorded, feel meaningless. Like they just feel like they just kind of go somewhere and then they go nowhere. You know, like when I don't record them, like it feels like when nobody's listening to me, or like when I know it's not being spoken to somewhere. I don't even really feel like thinking anymore. You know, like it feels like I normally I talk to myself a lot, right? But like I don't even want to do that anymore if I'm not recording myself. Like it's just like stuff like that. And like I remember the first time I did this, like when I said like I think I already talked about this before, but like I kind of got depressed when I decided not to do this for one day. I was just so silent like the entire time. I just like said nothing at all for hours. Like I just lay in my room, like stare at the ceiling and shit, and just that was it. I just I just felt like really empty. But like there's something kind of like when I'm not being watched, um, I'm kind of falling back into a habit of like zoning out. So like I would be walking around a place, like I'd go outside. Like a couple of days ago, I did this. I should go get some cookies today. But anyways, I'd be walking around and like go to a place and like I would like um uh I would like just slow down for a second and just stop moving, and then my mind would just turn like it would just turn into like this bucket of serene, like just still water. It just feels so like, you know, still. Everything would just be like perfectly still. And I just kind of would take it in and I just wouldn't do anything. I just sit in one place, just relax. Like, you know, just that's what I would do. And like that's something I can't have when I'm like streaming. Like I told myself though, like as I've gotten older, to just not do stuff like that. Because like when I was like 16, 17, I basically spent my entire life doing that. You know, like that's just all I did all day. I just would zone out and think, and like in the moment I thought I was okay, but like okay, I'm not gonna spend more than 6 minutes on this. It's about to be like 10:30, so I don't want to be super late to my actual tasks for the day. But like I would spend so much time like just doing that. So I just told myself like don't do that anymore. Just don't be like that. Just don't be like that. Just don't like just turn your brain off. You know, like just don't be like that. So it's got like this like massive inclination to doing so though. I don't know. Like now that I say that out loud, it feels like, you know, like what does it mean to not do that? You know, I'm just kind of confused. I don't know. I don't know. Just, I don't know. But like I started zoning out, and it felt good. You know, it felt really good. But I know I shouldn't be doing that. I just know that I shouldn't be. I really want to lose my virginity. I haven't talked much about sex on this thing. I remember like, because I don't really have much to talk about, so I don't talk about it. I think I'm getting to an age now where like when I hear people talking about having sex, it makes me kind of like insecure. Like before when I was like 18, 19, I didn't really give a shit, but like now I do. Like it bothers me a bit. But like I know like with the way things are right now, I can't even have it if I wanted to. Like the girl would have to be like, really, she'd have to have like things like set up, so that we could do it more easily. And, like I don't think like the kind of girls like I know would like the kind of girls that I go for would like allow me to like really do anything like that. Without like they wouldn't want to do it in a car, they wouldn't want that, like stuff like that, they wouldn't want that. Like they want to like maybe like they need like a house, like they need a house. I don't know, or just stuff like that. I guess like I don't think they'd want to like have it that way. Like they're not like they're just they're not easily made. You know what I mean? Just like they don't want to like do it in places like that. Oh yeah, and Ito. Um, I used to. I guess I'll talk about her and then I'll stop. So Ito. I don't want to send like hate mail, but like you'll probably know what I'm talking about. Ito. I like heard her talking about some guys, about like some dudes like she used to be like my safe space, sort of. Like I'd listen to her like when I'm trying to sleep. I'd always be like really excited to like, you see one of her streams and stuff, and like my heart just felt like it was just going towards her. And like she like on one of her streams she started talking about like some dude. Like, I feel like I sound like a loser. I started getting like insecure, right? Obviously, for obvious reasons, of course, I was feeling insecure. But what I noticed was that even though this guy she was talking about sounded so amazing, she still sounded like pretty like lacking in emotion towards him, and like just it kind of reminded me of like Sabine. Just like someone can just like you know just see all that stuff out of you, and it's like you can still be a perfect person, more or less, right? And they can still just not give a fuck about you. Like you can be just absolutely perfect, and they just won't even know they won't even remember you. And like if they call you out and stuff, they'll be like, oh, he's a nice guy, and like all this stuff, and like I'm not here to fucking be a nice, like I don't like being a bad person, but like you know I don't want to be a bad dude, but like what do I have to do to matter? Because that's all I really want. Like I want to matter. I want to be remembered, Like I don't want to be a bad person. I'm not saying that like, you know, I don't like talking like that. I just don't want to be. I don't want to be a bad person. Like, I'm not saying like I want to. I'm not saying like I'm like doing this for a means to an end. But like what does it take for me to like to matter to you? And like I don't know, Ito doesn't really have anything to do with that. But like she just reminded me of that, and I just can't watch her anymore. Like everything she says just kind of like feels like it's coming from a bad place now. So I can't enjoy her stuff anymore. And honestly, for like any of the like teenage Asian girls I was like watching on YouTube for like comfort and stuff, I don't feel so comfortable around them anymore. I kind of lost that because now they just remind me of Sabine. They just make me remember like how girls my age just seem to really, really just not care about dudes and stuff. I just, yeah, I just don't really give a shit about them. Yeah. All right. Well.